jeez. I thought I forgot to put it to headset. There we go. Okay. So, side stories. So we've got Monica and Sayori, Sayori and Yuri, Natsuki and Monica, Sayori and Natsuki, Yuri and Monica, and Natsuki and Yuri. I guess we'll just start from the top. They have part 1 to part 2, so let's begin side story. I mean, I think I mean, unless you want to pull up my stream. Oh goodness, it's loud. The music's just a tiny bit loud. Ooh, am I getting a lot of drop frames? Huh? I don't know. It's saying I've got 16% dropped frames. I mean, it might not even be anything important due to the type of game this is. Okay. The literature club is starting. Let's all have a seat and take attendance. Okay. Miss Debate Club. I knew it'd be difficult to start a new club. Feel worse with every day that passes without anyone coming in. Starting to lose confidence. Ah. Monica's the only member of the literature club. Days that have passed, all of our efforts to recruit new members have been fruitless. Am I going about this wrong? Monica glances at one of her flyers. Headline is, do you like literature? Maybe no one is into literature enough to make it over the other club interests. Just can't rely on people liking literature. Need to sell them on a vision. What kind of vision? Monica rests her head down on her desk, deep in thought. Before she realizes it, the recent nights of staying up too late start to catch up to her. Come on. I was trying to get my tissues. So quiet and the noise of the air conditioner is soothing. Hello? Hey, Sayori. Suddenly, a voice causes Monica to snap awake. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I never do this. It's the napping club. Monica pauses, suddenly embarrassed to admit that this is, in fact, a literature club. This is a literature club. Yay, I thought I got it wrong for a sec. Super sorry, it was like so unprofessional of me to do that. Don't apologize, I do that all the time. Oh, did I miss a club meeting? Where is everybody? Well, about that. This is everybody. Really, just you. But we're getting more members. I'm working really hard on it. Hold on a sec. If it's just you, that means I get to be vice president. Wait, vice president? What are your qualifications? Well, I'm better at napping than you. Maybe I should be president. You're just making fun of me. Oh, I'm sorry. What was your name? Siri. Okay, so this is when they first met. Okay, Siri, I've been trying really hard on this club. I know you caught me at a weird time, but it's really disheartening not to be taken seriously, you know? I care so much about this. I just want to find other people who do too. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I do care, I promise. I have a hard time being serious, that's all. I didn't mean for it to hurt you. And I was joking about the vice president thing too. I would make a terrible vice president. I mean, I'm sure that Monica tries to say something reassuring, but it's difficult when she doesn't know much about Sayori. I'm sorry this isn't like a real club yet. Would you still be interested in joining after I found a few more members at least? Well, no, I want to join now. Really? Yeah, sounds like a lot of fun. Besides, I can tell how hard you've been working. Doing something amazing and you should be proud of it, you know? So let me help you turn something stressful into something fun. If nothing else, I'm good at that, so... Ahaha, honestly, how could I possibly say no to that? It's really sweet of you, Sayori. Oh, I'm Monica, by the way. Monica, that's such a cool name. Oh, now you're just trying to cheer me up. But you're smiling. Well, I didn't say it didn't work. Monica glanced at the flyer on her desk and realized that her name was already written on it. So what do we do first? Well, it's getting pretty late, isn't it? We could go home, try to come up with some new ideas to recruit club members. I can do that. Cool. And I think I need to put some more thought into my vision for the club. You know, like a mission. My mission is to make everyone happy. Yeah, something like that. I need to think about it. Hey, do you like hugs? I guess so. Siri suddenly pulls Monica to a friendly hug, then lets go. Some people can just really use a hug sometimes. Besides, Siri whispers loudly, hug energy is what keeps me at my best. Hug energy? Monica laughs, although Siri is very different from where Monica feels her spirits lifted. Maybe it's just because she finally found another club member, but, well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow then. It'll be fun. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna think really hard tonight about how to get more people. Yeah, me too. Day passes and the time comes for the literature club, Monica and Sayori to reconvene. As president, Monica ensures she's the first to arrive in the club room, but she finds herself waiting longer than expected for Sayori. It's been 10 minutes already. Maybe Sayori changed her mind about joining. No, that can't be. She was so excited yesterday. But I'm getting kind of worried. Suddenly, Sayori comes bounding through the door. In her hand, she's holding a sheet of paper. Sorry I'm late, I'm here. It's okay, welcome back. And... Sayori spins over to Monica and deposits the sheet on Monica's desk. Oh, what's this? Take my hand, take me forward, take me to your dreamland. Caution me to watch my step so I can't look back at my footprints. Climb the stairs ahead of me while I look up to you. The more I look forward, the more I look up, the more I can lend to you. If you can trust me to follow your pace, I'll trust you to set it. If you can trust me to lend you a smile, I'll trust you to return it. Take my hand, take me forward, take me to your dreamland. Okay. Sayori poem. Wrote this Sayori? Of course. Wait, no, that's the wrong side of the paper. Huh? I'm so ready to share that yet. I'm so embarrassed. Monica flips over the paper. Written on the other side is a list of ideas for recruiting new members. Oh, so this is what you meant to show me. But I'm curious now, do you write poetry often? I do, but I'm not sure anyone is near as good at it as you are. Really? I'm actually terrible at writing poetry. I've never written anything I was happy with. Like, I always read it again after a week I write it and I'm like, wow, this is so stupid. I don't know. It's like the dramatic version of me doesn't agree with the person I want myself to be or something like that. Oh, you should have more confidence in yourself. You're the literature club president. I guess you're not wrong there. I need to like set a good example or whatever. You know, I can envision the club doing something like that. Doing what? You know, like sharing poems we write and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, I would love that. Such a good way to learn about other people, you know? It's like we have so many emotions that we can't express to other people usually. But you can when it's in a poem, right? Yeah, I think that's helping me form a more cohesive vision for the club. I'm so glad you showed me, well, even though it was by accident. Me too. I felt embarrassed at first, but now it feels kind of good that someone else read it. I try to show you more of them in the future. I'd love that. Oh geez, I'm getting distracted. Do you want to go over this recruitment brainstorm together? My brainstormed so hard. It's like a brain hurricane. My brain is a natural disaster. Sorry, that's terrible. Anyways, let's take a look at the list. Make cupcakes. I was hungry. But it's a good idea, isn't it? Let me think about this. I mean, when will we have the chance to give people cupcakes? You know, like when they come into the club. What if we say we had free cupcakes on the flyer? I'm kind of worried that would bring in the wrong kinds of people, you know? Wrong kinds? People would just come for the cupcakes and then leave. Oh, nobody would do that. That would be mean. But, you know, I want to find people who are really into literature, even if they don't know it yet. Let's see. Next thing on the list, hunt for people reading books. I don't think I get it. Like going around the school and finding people who are reading books, you know? Like in the morning or during lunch. And then we tell them to check out the literature club. Well, the problem with that is like, wouldn't most people be reading books just to do it for an assignment or something? How do we know if they're reading just for fun? We could ask them. Let me bother people who are trying to do homeschool work. I didn't think about that part. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. You're coming up with a lot more things than I can. Oh, your next idea is to hand out flyers rather than putting them up on the wall. I definitely like to start doing that. I'm useful. I never said that you weren't. Just need to think, what would we tell people when handing them out? I don't want to be just like, join the literature club. Let's figure out how we can better engage people. What if you told them about club activities and stuff? What club activities? Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be my job to come up with that, right? A vision for the club. Okay, Sayori, pretend you're a normal person for a second. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. You know, like a random passerby who's getting a flyer. How would you react to the idea of a literature club? Probably like, literature is stupid. I'm joining the anime club. What the heck? Sorry, I was just thinking of a friend of mine. Okay. What if I said we like do group readings and discuss it together? I'd probably not do that. That's you, Sayori. Yeah, but that doesn't really sound fun to most people anyway. You really catch their interest, you know? This sucks. Why is it so hard? Monica, don't be sad. What do you like about literature, Sayori? Me? Well, kind of what I said about the poem earlier. I think it gives people a chance to express yourself. Like, express yourself in ways you can't normally do when you're doing your normal day and talking to your friends. I mean, we all have so many thoughts and feelings that we just don't get to share, you know? It's like intimate. Yeah. How do we get that across to people? We could be like, express your true self. Be intimate with us. Okay. That's kind of, I'm kidding. Oh my gosh, what is it? I forgot all my things in my classroom. I must have gotten too excited and rushed here. Silly me. Rushed, but weren't? Never mind. Did you want to get your stuff then? I'd forget it if I don't do it now. Well, I'll wait for you then. Okay, it'll only take a second. Sayori dashes out of the room, leaving Monica momentarily alone. Monica decides to start jotting her thoughts on a sheet of paper. Express yourself. Be who you want to be. Make new friends. Discover a new you. Discover your heart. No. Write your heart out. No. Write into your heart. Write the way into your heart. Join the literature club. Write the way into your heart. Wow, that's lame. Monica, you startled me. Sorry. I had something important. In my classroom, there was a girl reading a book. Reading a book? Let's hurry a recruiter. Wait, are you sure she's just not doing her homework? I could tell she was really into it. Well, I guess we could take a look. Monica grabs one of her flyers and stands up from her desk. The two depart the classroom with Sari leading the way. This way. You don't have to run. Sari leads Monica over to a particular classroom, then lowers her voice to a whisper. See, in here. Monica peers through the window. Sure enough, there's a girl sitting alone, intently reading a book. I feel like a creep doing this. You should go inside and talk to her. Me? You're the president, and I'd probably scare her away. Okay, fine, I'll do it. Monica takes a deep breath, then timidly enters the classroom. That was fast. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Why? What happened? Well, I entered the classroom and she didn't even look up from her book. So I kind of just left the flyer on her desk and then walked out. It's kind of cute. But I'm sure she'll see it and want to join the club. I hope so. Shall we head back now? To head back to the club room, Sari feeling rather accomplished and Monica still feeling a bit embarrassed by the encounter. Upon returning, Monica and Sari resumed their strategy meeting. They discussed various different kinds of recruitment tactics from professional to silly. After going through Sari's list and with Monica coming up with better ideas of her own, the two ended in a better spot from where they began. Well, I would say today was pretty productive, wasn't it? Yeah, I think we're starting to make progress. I can't wait to get some new members. Hey, what's this? Sari peers at the sheet of paper Monica was jotting on earlier. Oh, don't mind that. I was just thinking to myself. Join the literature club right the way into your heart. That's so cute. That was a little overdramatic, but Sari paused and think for a moment. You know, I don't think you give yourself enough credit. What? What do you mean? Like, I don't feel I can tell from talking to you today. Wait. I don't know. I feel like I can tell from talking to you today. Seems like you're always afraid of doing something wrong. Yeah, but would you call yourself a perfectionist? Yeah, I definitely am. I mean, I always have an idea in my head of how I want things to go, and it's like I can't accept anything less than that. But I think in the end it helps me try my hardest at everything, so I don't think it's that bad. Like with this club, we have such an opportunity to make it into exactly how you envision it. But it feels like we only have one shot at it. So I'm really afraid of it deviating from the vision. What's the vision? It's... Monica pauses to think, then shakes her head to herself. She sighs. I don't know. I just want everyone to... Monica trails off. Smiling, Sari taps her finger against the sheet of paper. Right the way into your heart, I think is what you're trying to do. Is to make the club that you need the most out of anyone. Well, you're the one who knows yourself best, of course, but I'm here to help. Monica returns Sari's smile. It's sort of amazing how kind you are. We're really going to make this the best club ever. Sari nods and the two remain silent for a moment, lost in thought. The only sound is the steady whisper of the air conditioner. And the only movement is the afternoon sunlight trickling its way in and out of the moving clouds. Sari breaks the moment with a big yawn. Time to go home? You tell me, you're the president. In that case, today's meeting is officially over. I look forward to tomorrow. Me too. Sari beams and grabs her things. You can go on ahead. I need a few minutes still. Oh, I can wait. That's alright. I just want some alone time. In that case, Sari waves enthusiastically at Monica. Good luck. Monica smiles and waves in return as Sari spins her way out of the classroom. All alone, she says to herself it takes a minute to zone out. She wasn't prepared for the self-reflection encouraged by Sari, but she decides it was something she probably needed about now. The club that I need the most? I don't get it. I just want to start a club with more passion, something that I could use to help lead people to happiness. Literature is the key to that, because it's the window to the real person inside of us, underneath the person who's forced to always smile and blend in. The person who's forced to be perfect. Monica suddenly noticed a folder on the floor by her desk. Did Sari leave this behind? Hope it doesn't have her homework in it. Worried, Monica opens the folder to check. Poems. It's a folder of poems. Become the flower. A feeling of joy is a flower plucked from the ground. The color of the scent, it's so pretty in my hair. Every day I pluck some flowers as though they grew just for me. A lifetime of peace and nourishment yanked away in an instant. All for me, all for joy. I need more. I need more joy. I need more happy. Pluck, pluck, pluck. Every day. Pluck, pluck, pluck. So pretty in my hair. Pluck, pluck, pluck. You're going to die, and you too. Beneath my feet, a flower stands alone. It beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots, caressing the final joyous moments between my finger. But to what end? I look in every direction, and the field I stand in, the prosperous field, is a barren wasteland, the fruits of my labor, the carnage of my joy. That's why I've decided I must become the flower. What the? Wait, Sayori? Oh, okay. Um, so that was the end of that one. Okay. Ooh. Okay, I think I want to wait to look at the mail before I got another mail. Okay, so let me. Okay, so let's. Another day passes in a flash, and it's already time for the next club meeting. Although Monica should have come up with a plan for today's club tasks, she hasn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem. I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be the center of attention? Sayori's going through these kinds of feelings, and I'm letting her comfort me instead of the other way around. What kind of club president does that? This whole time I didn't think to ask about her own feelings. So much for the stupid vision. Sayori enters a club room with her usual smile, but upon seeing the downcast Monica, her smile quickly fades into an expression of concern. Monica, is everything okay? I'm really sorry. I'm such a terrible friend. Huh? What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend. Monica shakes her head. I made this all about myself. Even you said so yesterday. You told me that I'm trying to make the club that I need the most, right? But my problems are so trivial compared to yours. Sayori responds quietly. What are you talking about? But as she said that, her face darkens. Through the silence, Sayori mutters her realization. I left my folder here. Monica stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response. I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me. I don't want that. But why? We're friends, right? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Friends will look out for each other. Want to be here for you as much as you're here for me. Another long moment passes in silence. The air is incredibly heavy. This is different. It wasn't just about you yesterday. It was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy. So if you do this, then you're just being selfish. Monica massaged her forehead, struggling through the frustration of such a paradox. It's understandable that Sayori isn't ready to share certain things. But as unfair as it is for Monica to pry, it's also painful for Monica to force herself to ignore the needs of her friend. I'm sorry I looked. I disrespected your privacy. No, I don't blame you for looking. You would have at least checked to see if it was mine. Yeah. Monica takes a deep breath. Okay, I understand that you don't want me to worry, and I think I'll be able to put this aside so we can move on. But can you promise me something? Promise you what? Monica paused to collect her thoughts. This is a literature club. It's a place where people can express themselves in the way that life normally doesn't allow them to. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. Right the way into your heart, or whatever. So I want you to promise me that you'll remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want to be here for you when you need it. I want us to be ourselves like that. Sari smiles gently. I'll promise if you promise. Unable to help it, Monica returns Sari's smile. I promise. Me too. As the conversation closes, the mood in the room is lifted. With that behind him, it's time to proceed with the club activities. So, want to teach me about poetry? Huh? But what about recruitment? It's fine. We have plenty of time for that. But right now, I feel like I want to do this. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise, you know? There's no way I could say no to that. Just don't expect much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything. Huh? I don't have anything. I mean, I go through this stuff like... It's fine. I think I need like some motivation. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems. Starting isn't so hard. You just need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you. Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good. It's not supposed to. Oh. Oh. I got it. You're gonna have to fight your perfectionist mind on this one. You could just start by writing your feelings and see what kind of things it makes you think of. And then you could turn your feelings into a little story. You get your feelings down first and then make it sound pretty later. It's not like building a railroad where you go from one end to another. It's more like a collage where you find all the things you want to put in and then you arrange them in a pretty way. At least that's how I do it. It's not like it's the only way. But it's a really good way to not get stuck right at the beginning. I understand. Yeah, I always get so caught up in how it sounds that I forget what's actually important. Monica pulls out a pen and starts her pen and paper and start writing on. Stop being a perfectionist, you idiot. Haha, just kidding. Monica scribbles out, you idiot, after she writes it down. No, keep it. What? Why? Are you calling me an idiot? Of course not. But the point is that you're not supposed to police your feelings, right? Be as dramatic as you want. Haha, but I was just, well, yeah. Underneath the scribble, Monica... Underneath the scribbles, Monica rewrites, you idiot. She stares at the paper. Her words stare back at her. It's kind of funny how I wrote down what I'm mad at myself for, and then I did the exact thing anyway. It's really gonna take some getting used to. I believe in you. Thanks. I do too. But also you, of course. Monica continues the exercise, jotting down her thoughts. It's surprisingly quite a struggle to write without overthinking it. But after a while, with Sari's guidance and encouragement, Monica's sheet of paper begins to look fairly lively, peppered with all of her random thoughts. Monica looks up and down at her sheet. Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it, but it's also kind of liberating. I can tell how hard you're trying. It makes me happy. Huh? Oh, okay. I think you'll be good at writing poems. Don't give me too much credit. I'd have to try really, really hard at it. But I think it's something I'll enjoy doing with you. Sayori beams. I'll stop here, but we still have time. Try to work on a new flyer for the club. I won't be so picky about the language. Yay, let's do it. Monica and Sayori proceed with their work. Each passing day, the two of them become more confident in the club. Not simply from their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the literature club. Finally, they begin to truly feel it's only a matter of time before they find more members. Another day passes. As usual, Monica is the first to the club room. There's a printout of the revised literature club flyer, complete with all the new ideas Monica and Sayori came up with. If only this was the flyer we gave to that one reading girl the other day. It's so much more attractive than the old one. But new catchphrase is featured clearly in the center of the flyer. Write the way into your heart. Surely common sense would say that one writes from the heart, not into the heart. But the message being delivered is that one can use writing to discover themselves. Hopefully, Monica and Suri had thought that it would be enough to garner some curiosity from students. Why do I feel so tense looking at this? Monica thinks back to the previous meeting when she performed the writing exercise. Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be the president if I can't even demonstrate what the club is supposed to be about? The literature club is truly beginning to take form, but with that, the weight on Monica's shoulders only becomes heavier. The big club was always about rigid structure, formulating airtight points and counterpoints, and delivering them with conviction. It was about the person on the outside. That's why Monica was so good at it. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort. It's suffocating. I need to break through this mental wall. I need to learn to express myself for real. Monica pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She presses the tips of the pen firmly against the paper. But her hand doesn't move. Instead, a tiny block. I was wondering when this was going to happen. Instead, a tiny blot of ink collects around the tip of her pen. Monica lifts her pen and stares at the little blotch. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her finger across it. As she does, black ink smears across the paper, ruining Monica's canvas. Ugh. Out of spite for herself, Monica presses her pen down once again, letting the ink collect. She creates a second smear on the paper. Come on, Monica. Just move your hand. Monica writes, "This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain." Monica slides the paper away from her and puts her head down on the desk. The air conditioner seems louder today. I'm here. Hi. Monica hears Siri approach her desk and stop for a second, probably reading the piece of paper. Then she sits down in the adjacent desk. Bad day? Mm-hmm. Me too. You too? The new flyer looks so good. You've been working so hard on the club, but also something else, I think. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's just hard to be vulnerable. Siri takes a sheet of paper from Monica's desk. She writes something down, then stares at it for a while. Can I trust you? Of course. You can trust me with anything. Siri gazes at Monica with sadness in her eyes. Understanding the signal, Monica takes the paper from Siri's desk and reads it. Sometimes I want to die. Sayori, this is really, really hard for me. Her voice shakes. So if I can do it, then you can too, because you're like a million times better than me. That's completely not true. Sayori takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. It's something about me I've never told anyone before. Even now, my head is like screaming at me to stop. Wait, you don't have to force yourself. I mean, just because of the promise yesterday. I want to. It just feels right. I mean, maybe it's part of the reason why I came to this club in the first place. This is a literature club. I trust you more than I'm scared. At those words, Monica stands up. Sari must have taken days to work up the courage for this. Were Monica's own futile but genuine efforts actually the push that Sari needed? Sari's deliberate breaths could be heard over the air conditioner. As she prepares herself to continue, Monica waits in gentle silence. I have this problem where I get really upset when people worry too much about me. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you can just be happy instead? So I never tell anyone about these kinds of thoughts that I have. It's so. Yeah, I know. I'm sure this game is not reading my mind right now. It's so much easier to just smile and help everyone else be happy. God dang it.
I knew this was gonna happen. As soon as it started
You,
these two, I knew it was gonna happen.
you didn't have to say anything.
This game is very important. It's fine. I think this game is more important to you than you realize.
I guess. But that's terrible. That's what Monica wanted to say, but she stopped herself in fear of saying the wrong thing. It's just that if everyone knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same way anymore. Like, whenever I'm not smiling, everyone would worry about me and ask me what's wrong. I know that because it used to be like that. Suri paused, seeming to recall something in the past. I just want everyone to be happy. That's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone. Siri pauses again, her solemn expression making her look almost like an entirely different person. How did you find the courage to tell me this? You're not worried that I'll be one of those people too? I am worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this, but another part of me, I think, just felt like it would be different this time. Whenever you talk about what the club is supposed to mean, I kept feeling like it was right for me to do. Especially after you've been trying so hard to express yourself too. It just made me feel like I could say it in confidence and our friendship doesn't have to change. It's so silly. The club, only two people, but it already means so much to me. Monica feels a tightening sensation in her heart, a feeling of connection as Sayori's emotions radiate between them. Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayori. You're so strong and brave, I don't even compare. Monica steps forward. But if nothing else, I can at least offer you some hug energy, if you'd like. No. Wordlessly, without a smile, Sari rests her forehead on Monica's shoulder. Through their contact, Monica can almost feel the torrent of thoughts swimming in Sari's head. And in this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, Monica realizes that all of the days have passed. This is the one where she really, really hopes that nobody new walks through the door. She speaks softly. You're like the sweetest girl I've ever met. You could say anything, I'll never judge you. I promise. Suri's breath begins to quiver. She takes several deep breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things she never once dared to say out loud. Finally, she speaks in a choked voice. I'm so worthless. I'm worthless, and everyone would be better off without me. She suppresses a sob as a tear falls down her cheek. I'm just an inconvenience to everyone. I'm not good at anything, and it just feels like everyone has to put up with me, and I hate it. I hate it. Here comes the rain. What?
She's fine. Look, this game is very important to her. She will be okay. Don't worry, Sarah's boyfriend is beside her. This is a very important game.
Sorry. No, I don't need to clean myself up. It's just. I mean, it's too much. The more Sari speaks, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to the overwhelming sadness clutching at her throat and chest. I don't want to have these thoughts. I want them to go away, and now I'm making you put up with me, and I just want to die. As soon as Sari loses her composure, Monica becomes determined to keep her own. She only wants to be what Sari needs right now. So she won't let any sadness show. Her voice comes through as soft and gentle. This isn't putting up with you. It's just being your friend. Monica offers a few words of comfort, but she knows Sari said it herself that the thoughts Sari experiences are ones that don't belong, and Monica can't magically make them go away. The most she could do is help Sari battle them like any good friend would do. You have so much value, to me and your other friends too. This club wouldn't have been the same without you. I really, really mean that. You coming here was the best thing that could have happened. Even if we never got any other members, I would still be happy. That's what you brought here. You brought us a vision, and you also brought happiness, and that's your favorite thing to do, right? Suri doesn't respond, but Monica feels her gently nod. No more words are needed between them. The two share their embrace for a while longer, Monica letting Suri take as much time as she needs. Once her breathing steadies and her sniffles fully cease, Suri lifts her head and wipes her eyes. I guess I needed that. Some days are harder than others. Well, I'm here whenever you need me. But any other time, I'll make sure that things are the way they usually are. If that's what makes you happy. Thanks. You're the best. No, you are. The two exchange smiles. You know, I'm sorry to bring this up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional? Suri nods. It's scary. It's already hard to tell people. Yeah, well, of course it will always be your choice, but if you were looking to find the courage for it, I'll do my best to help you. Thanks. I think it helps knowing that you would. Suri suddenly yawns and stretches. Wow, that made me tired and hungry. Well, I won't make you do any work today if you're not up for it. No, I want to. I mean, I could say that it's definitely one thing that makes me happy. Monica smiles, but I might want to get a snack first. All of a sudden, the sound of the door caused the two of them to turn their heads. The door opened halfway and then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. Okay. That is most likely Yuri. Let's see, side. Yeah.
Not cannon my ass. Fucking liars.
Stories of friendship that are unrelated to the events of the main game.
Yeah, bullshit.
That hit me too hard.
Oh, I have a feeling that's not going to be the end of it. I have a feeling most of these chapters are going to put me in a giant fucking... Mainly Sayori's chapters, but I have a feeling all the other chapters are probably going to do the same.
Okay, so the next one is Sayori and Yuri.
You're waiting on the mail and all that stuff. You're not going to read it yet?
Yeah, I don't think I will. Because I don't know what it hints at, and I might end up spoiling something. It's one of those things where it's safer to wait on them than reading them ahead of time.
No, the only reason why I would be, well, can you pick them, or is it you just straight up have to read them as soon as you? Is it like here's this one, then this one, then this one, then this one?
Well,
Read them in
the
order,
thing
or is it?
is that there's um just more of if I click on it, it just pops up with the email and
Yeah.
like I can see the subject lines, but I don't know. Well, I won't know what they're about unless I actually read them. Okay, but yeah, this looks like this one picks up right after the last one. The club meeting is suddenly interrupted by the sound of the door, causing Monica and Siri to turn their heads. The door opens halfway and stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. Siri's eyes widen, recognizing the girl. She very conspicuously mouths to Monica. It's her, it's the girl. It's true, the girl standing in the doorway is none other than the girl Sayori had come across reading alone in the classroom. Thanks to Monica leaving the flyer on the desk, it seems she found her way to the club. Are you here for the literature club by any chance? Am I in the wrong place? No, you're not. This is a literature club. Please come inside. The girl fully steps in the door, but continues standing against the wall, avoiding eye contact. I'm doing okay. Siri continues to fail containing her excitement. It's happening. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for coming. Sorry it's a little empty. I'm Monica and this is Siri. We run the literature club, even though it's just us so far. But what's your name, by the way? I'd like to join your club. Already? Wait, really? Are you sure? I mean, I should be good enough. Everyone is welcome here. You don't have to be good enough. Oh, do you want to have a seat? We'd love to get to know you. Girl nods, sliding over to nearby desk and gently sitting down. So, what's your name? Yuri. I'm Sayori, and this is Monica. Sayori, nice to meet you. Do you like fantasy? Like books? Yuri looks at Monica. Fantasy is cool. Yes, have you heard of Annabelle DuPont? Can't say I have. Oh, well, she's my favorite author. I'm on her 5th book, and it's just Yuri grins and press her knuckles against her cheeks in joy. You could borrow my books, I wouldn't mind. Huh?
I said, of course, she would love DuPont.
I don't know who that is.
I'll look it up. You can keep reading.
Okay. You're in for an incredible experience. Monica stammers, caught completely off guard by Yuri taking control of the conversation. She glanced sideways at Sayori, silently asking for help. I'd love to. It sounds like you're really into them, so they must be great. I'm so happy I found this club. Oh, I'm so stupid. I left all my other books in my locker. I should have brought them. Yuri quickly stands up. I'll be right back. I'll go get them for you. You probably only need to bring one for now, Sirius nervously said that, noting to herself the considerable heftiness of the book that Yuri set down on her desk. True. Okay, I'll get the first one then. Yuri exits the club room in a flash, leaving Monica and Sayori silently exchanging glances. Oh my god, I wasn't prepared for this. How do I handle someone so intense? I have no experience with fantasy except maybe stuff that I read when I was a kid, but that's probably a joke compared to what she's into. I'm sure it'll be fine. In fact, I think it's neat that we have different people who are into different kinds of literature. It'd be fun to learn from each other. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, but what if this is her only interest? Doesn't it kind of seem like that? Monica, don't you think you should be a bit more optimistic? We have a new club member. There shouldn't be room for anything but being happy. I'm excited to get to know her more, aren't you? Yeah, I guess you're right. Sorry for being so hasty. I got really anxious all of a sudden. It's because you're afraid of not being able to take the lead. What the heck? It's kind of scary how you can point things out like that, Sayori. It's just like learning what makes people happy or sad. Yeah. Hey, you know what? You'd probably be great at helping Yuri feel comfortable here. Maybe you could take a break from helping me with the administrative stuff and just focus on spending time with her. Yay, that's exactly what I want to do. Besides, Sayori lowers her voice, I'm probably going to need all the time I can get. She taps her finger against the dauntingly chunky book Yuri left sitting on the desk. Right afterwards, the door opens to reveal Yuri's return. I'm back. Her breath is slightly heavy, which, combined with her short time gone, indicates she may have ran at least part of the way. She makes her way back over to Sayori and sets the book down on her desk. Just as Sayori feared, the book Yuri brought for her is just about equal size to the one already on Yuri's desk. Well, there are probably a few things you should know before getting started on it. There are some things that are more explained in other books that take place in the same universe, so going over those would be good to keep you from getting confused at the start. Sayori nervously interjects. Well, I was thinking that maybe today we could just get to know each other a little bit more. You know, I think if we're gonna be reading together, then I would like that. From across the room, Monica smiles and nods at Sayori while Yuri isn't looking. Oh, okay. Yuri sits down and looks at her book, then glances at the room, showing no indication she has anything more to add. So, what made you decide you wanted to join the club? Well, I like reading, so I was immediately interested. I have no idea that someone was starting a literature club, but that's my fault since I haven't been paying attention to any of the club recruitment advertisements. I only found out because Yuri glanced over at Monica. Monica came into my classroom and put the flower on my desk. Suddenly, Yuri's face darkens and she shakes her head at herself. I was so stupid, I got too nervous and couldn't even look up, so she just walked out. It took me several days to come here because I was afraid that Monica told everyone how inconsiderate I was, but I decided that was probably irrational. Wait. No, that was totally my fault. I felt so bad about interrupting you that I just, walked out. I was actually really hoping that you would come by. Yuri exhales in relief. I always seem to interpret things as the worst possible scenario. Well, I was really nervous to come here for some other reasons too, such as there being too many people. Not that I mind that much, but I have a really hard time having to meet a large number of new people at once. So it's actually amazing that it's just the two of you. I definitely came at the right time. Oh, that makes me happy.
So,
What?
if you want to know, Annabelle DuPont is not an actual author,
Uh-huh.
but there are a bunch of very famous DuPonts which do horror stories.
Oh, okay.
And there is a Leslie DuPont who writes about literature
Okay.
specifically. Basically, how to write literature and the intricacies of it and everything. So, Annabelle DuPont is not an actual, from everything I can see. It's not an actual
Well, the
author.
thing is that Yuri likes horror,
Yeah.
so.
Annabelle DuPont could be somewhat the full pack thing.
Mhm. I'm proud of you for working up the courage to come. Yuri smiled warmly to herself. I've never really had the privilege of sharing my interests with others before. It's so hard to find others who are into the same things as I am, except online, so I thought the Literature Club could provide me a chance for me to do that. What kind of other things are you into? Like genres? I don't know, just anything, even if it's not literature. Oh, just things you would think are dumb. Suri pauses, a look of concern on her face. How about I tell you something I'm into, and then you could tell me about something you're into? I suppose that would be okay. Okay, well, I'm pretty into like crafty things, like making cute collages or decorating things like cards or jewelry boxes. My room's always cluttered with random stuff because I keep buying things to make gifts for my friends, but then I put it off till the last minute. So yeah, that's something kind of silly that I'm into. You sound quite creative. Not that much. It's just that you'd be surprised how much you can do with scissors and glue and stuff. So I have to share something I'm into now, right? Siri nods. Well, I guess I'm into nature. I love nature. Monica, I'm gonna start a nature club. No, you're not. You're stuck here with me now. I am not. Oh yeah? Well, I hereby appoint you as vice president of the literature club. There, now you're stuck with me. Hey, don't give me responsibilities. Oh, I'm sorry, Yuri. I interrupted you. Go ahead. It's fine. Yuri pauses, feeling awkward after having gotten cut off. I like going out into the woods or the park, just places where you can walk or sit and not have many people around. It's peaceful. Just nice to kind of remove myself from everything that matters and let my racing mind operate autonomously for a while. When do you like to do that? It just depends on my mood. After school, on the weekends, whenever I feel like I need it. Wow, I feel like I would never have the time to do something like that. I find that we have a lot more time than we think we do if you don't let it slip through your fingers. The three continue their conversation, led primarily by Sayori, but with Monica chiming in every now and then. Monica had intended to leave it to Sayori and focus on her own work, but she found it difficult not to join in. Before they knew it, the end of the day was upon them once more. Oh, it looks like we should be wrapping up for today. So are you two going to be starting on that book the next club meeting? That's the plan. I'm so excited. Sayori beams, Yuri collects her things. Once packed, Yuri wordlessly waves to Sayori and Monica with a gentle smile. Bye! As Yuri exits, Sayori enthusiastically returns her farewell. Once again, Sayori and Monica are left in the club room. Sayori, you're a lifesaver. I didn't do anything, I just talked. Still. Besides, it really lifted my mood. It feels really nice when I can put my energy toward other people like that. She was really excited to be included, you know? It makes me happy. Well, there's no doubt in my mind that she'll have a great time here with you engaging her. How are you feeling about starting the book with her next meeting? I'm kind of scared, but I think she'll be happy as long as I'm trying my best. I think you'll do great. After the surprise of a new club member, it seems like everyone has their spirits lifted, with something new to look forward to. Is this the end of the chapter? Nope, not yet. Another school day ends. Swallowing her anxiety, Yuri makes her way to the club room, expecting to be the last one to arrive. As she opens the door, she's surprised to find only Sayori in the club room. It's club time again. Monica went to the computer lab, so it's just us today. Is that okay? Yuri nodded, silently nods, unable to make eye contact. I'm sorry about yesterday. Siri lifts her head, unsure exactly what Yuri is talking about. Well, I mean, the way I got overly excited to share my books and how you had to stop me so we could talk first. It was so inconsiderate of me. I got too excited and forgot to think about everyone else in the club, so... Yuri, you didn't do anything wrong. I thought it was cute how excited you were. Well, still. I think I changed my mind about the book. We don't have to read it. Huh? Why? Because I know that you were just humoring me anyway. In retrospect, it's rather obvious that no one was truly interested. But if you like it so much, then it must be worth sharing. I've already decided I'll join the club, so you don't have to try so hard to entice me. That's not what I was doing. A moment of uncomfortable silence stretches between the two of them. Well, the thing is, we don't have any club activities yet. I mean, Monica and I have been working on recruitment stuff mostly, so it sounded like something fun we could do together, reading your books. So, like as a club activity. That would be okay, right? Why am I being so resistant to this anyways? It's exactly what I wanted in the first place, and you're being so nice about it. I really don't know what's wrong with me. I'm sorry for being like this. You don't have to apologize. Just tell me if there's anything I can do to help you feel more comfortable here. Siri pulls her desk up against Yuri's and sits next to her. The book in question is already on Yuri's desk. Peering over, Siri reads the cover of the book. Dusk Bell. Part 1 of the Everlast Saga. It's Dusk Bell by Annabelle. Sorry, I'm ready now. Oh, right, I should probably get some paper. Yuri grabs a spiral notebook of hers and tears out a few sheets of paper. Wait, how come you need paper? Oh, it's useful to draw things out sometimes, like maps, timelines, family trees, or just for taking notes. Notes? I mean, yeah, that's an efficient strategy. Exactly, I'm sure it'll be especially helpful for someone new to the genre. Sarah's joke flew completely over Yuri's head. But thinking about it, she decides that's probably for the best that it did. Well, I'm not used to having company through this, but I'll try to help make it as accessible as possible. I trust you, you're like super smart. Oh, please. Yuri tries to dismiss the compliment, but she can't hide her smile and light blush. You can't generalize intelligence. I'm only smart in the things I have a lot of experience with. Contrarily, I am awful at anything involving real people. That should be evident enough from the 2 days I've spent here so far. So in my eyes, it's everyone else who comes off as smart. Especially you. No! Siri rubs her shoulders against Yuri's. You're such a sweetheart when you're not being shy. Anyway, would you like to get started? Okay. After the minor diversion between them, the two get back on track with their planned club activity. Yuri begins to guide Siri through the basics of the fantasy world her story takes place in. The more of it she details, the races, factions, histories, elements of magic, the more questions Sayori seems to have. But despite Sayori's expectations, Yuri eloquently guides her through it in a way such that it... Okay, I'm like... I just wanted to make sure that I was reading that right. Okay. Through in a way such that it's fun to follow along. It becomes evident that the world-building aspect of the story, not just the story itself, is one that Yuri finds her passion leaning towards. How do people come up with this stuff? It's like the exact opposite of the kind of writing that I do. What kind of writing? Oh, like poetry and stuff like that. The things that I write are just putting down the feelings that come into my head, you know? But this is like, there must be so much planning and hard work. Ah, you're into poetry? I think there's an appendix that includes some of the kingdom's written works like poetry and folk songs. No way. Yuri giggles, filling Siri's heart with happiness when she realizes it's the first time she's heard Yuri laugh. It means Yuri must be having fun. Anyway, I think we can get started reading now if you're ready. Okay, but I can't read very fast. Oh, that's fine. I'm very patient. Patience is something I pride myself in. I see. Siri jots Yuri as patient into her notes. Hey, that's for the book. I'm just kidding. But I'm glad that you're patient because I need that sometimes. A lot of times. Suri flips through the first few pages of the book, getting past the table of contents. Okay, chapter 1. The room becomes quiet as the two of them begin to read. But the silence only lasts for a moment before Siri speaks up again. What does vindicated mean? Well, in this context, it essentially means that he was proven innocent. It's okay to ask questions, right? Of course. Siri turns the page. Are these footnotes? A lot of dialogue has cultural references that require explanation to be understood. The two continue reading. Yuri's relaxed expression remains unchanged. Meanwhile, Siri's expression grows tense as she tries to make her way through the dense text. Up until now, their expressions have been reversed, with Siri easily navigating social situations and Yuri struggling in them. But now the tables have turned. Wait, are they talking about the past right now or the present? Where? Right here. They're talking about the past. These paragraphs are describing a flashback that Barnes is having. But they didn't tell me that. It's implied from the context. Siri rubs her temples. The two of them continue, with Siri asking fewer questions. She begins to understand the value in the notes as she finds herself referring to them somewhat often, even adding to them. But her reduction in questions comes not from her getting used to the reading, but rather from her fearing that she'll come across as stupid. At last, Siri reaches the end of the chapter. I think we can stop here for now. Okay. Siri takes a deep breath and closes what little of the book she's gotten through so far. So, what are your thoughts up to this point? Siri tries to find the words. Am I doing well so far? I'm not sure I understand. Well, I don't know. When it takes me so long to read and understand things, it makes me feel really dumb. But I really like how into it you get. It makes me want to keep going and to keep doing my best so I can see it the way you do. The relaxation in Yuri's expression fades. I see. Yuri quietly gathers her things. We can continue tomorrow, right? Yuri pauses and shakes her head. We can do something else tomorrow. But I'm sorry. Wait, sorry for what? I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't want to do this anymore, that's all. I'm sorry that I made you. Yuri leaves. You weren't making me. Siri is left alone with her words. How did this happen? We were having fun just a second ago. It's all my fault. I'd said something stupid and hurt her. I should have just told her that I enjoyed it. Monica trusted me with this. It's the only thing I'm good at, and I still messed up. What if she doesn't want to come back? Drowned in guilt, Siri stares blankly at her desk, spread with notes. The book sits next to them. Right. If she wasn't coming back, she wouldn't have left the book here, right? Unless she forgot to take it with her. This is horrible. Was it really because she thought I wasn't enjoying our time together? Or maybe she wasn't enjoying our time together because I'm not good enough. I probably let her down so much by having trouble following along. Yeah, I'm sure if I was smarter, she would have been having so much more fun. I need to do better for her. Oh, that's the end of that side story. Okay. Okay, so part 2 of the Yuri and Siri side story. Man, it's really thundering out there. Oh, great. If this is gonna go like the first one, or it goes bad in the second half, I
I
think
told you.
I might need some more tissues. For the first time, Sari is the first to enter the club room. Anxiety courses through her relentlessly. Will Yuri show up today? Sitting at a desk, she stamps her feet in an attempt to calm down. Why am I letting this affect me so much? I'm doing everything I can to make Yuri happy, but my best wasn't good enough. But it was still my best. But I'm letting everyone down. I'm always just a disappointment. Yuri continues to wrestle with her self-depreciating thoughts, every tiny noise causing her to lift her head in anticipation of Yuri's arrival. Minutes pass, and no one enters the club room. Not Yuri or Monica. Gosh, I'm so late. Why did I offer to help those other students with their work? I'm such a pushover sometimes. It's gonna leave such a bad impression on new club members like Yuri if I'm not the first one here. Monica rounds the corner, approaching the club room. As she does so, Yuri? Yuri jumps to the sound of Monica's voice. She's sitting outside the club room against the wall next to the door. Embarrassed, she quickly closes the book she was reading and stands up. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry I'm late. You didn't have to wait outside for me. The door to the club room is open. It's not. Yuri stammered, unable to explain herself. She peered inside the club room through the window, then looks away. Actually, I was just wondering if I could help you today instead. Huh? Me? With publicity and stuff? Yes. Monica's utterly confused. Why is Yuri asking this all of a sudden when she was so eager to spend time with Sari before? Did they not get along after all? Monica looks at the club room herself to see Sari sitting alone inside. Okay, it's kind of a simple job, but I'll be happy for you to tag along. Me too. Huh?
We might lose power.
Mm. Okay, well, I mean, at least this isn't the full game where I have to actually worry about, losing progress. Because I can't even save these. Monica's worried, but she finds it difficult to insert herself into whatever conflict that may have arisen. It's a little ironic. She realized that she could have been so conflict avoidant after having been in the debate club. Okay, let's take a walk together. I just have to make copies of this new flyer, then go around to the billboards and replace the old ones with the new ones. Yuri nods and the two set off. The two walk in silence. Without Sayori, Monica finds it quite difficult to strike up a conversation. So, how's everything been going? Fine. That's good. Neither of them follow up with anything more. Monica tensed up at this stinted conversation. How the heck does Sayori do it? Sorry I didn't see you yesterday. I went straight to the computer lab to work on the flyers. Yeah, Sayori told me. What did you two end up doing yesterday? Just some reading. Oh, I'm glad. It's really starting to feel more like a literature club now. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Felt so intimidated at first when I heard about the kind of reading you were into. But it's kind of stupid of me because I'm just intimidated by things I'm not good at. It's so silly to assume that everyone who comes to the club will just have the same interests as me. But it's so cool that you were able to get Sayori into it. It's like the club is working. I'm really happy about that. She's not into it. Huh? She's not into it, and I'm stupid for forcing it on her. Yuri falls silent again as she started her thought, but can't figure out how to continue it. Did something happen? Yuri sighs. No, it's just me. Yuri pauses. I'm thinking. A moment passes in silence, and Yuri shakes her head. I shouldn't be complaining to you all of a sudden. Don't be silly. I won't think you're complaining. I just want to make sure you feel welcome. If it's important to that, then you could tell me anything. Well, I do feel welcome. Too welcome, I guess. It's not an issue with the club, it's just an issue with me. So I feel wrong to inconvenience you with it. Monica pauses and thinks. Well, what if we put it this way? It's my job as president to understand the needs of the club members, right? We're going to have all kinds of people joining this club, hopefully anyway. And learning about the diverse needs and interests of everyone will help me come up with club activities that everyone can be happy with. That everyone can be happy with, not just only some people, of course. I need to be looking out for everyone, otherwise, what kind of club would it be? I see. Yuri looks a little more relaxed. It signals to Monica that switching from a sympathetic approach to a pragmatic one was a good choice. Each individual truly does have their own needs. Okay, Yuri takes a deep breath. I'm a really weird and awkward person. I've accepted that about myself. I just don't know how to, I guess, connect with other people. How is it easy for everyone else? How do you just make a conversation about any arbitrary topic? I could talk for hours about the things that I'm into, unfortunately so much that I don't know when to stop. But for anything else, I just have no idea what to say. So I understand that about myself. I'm just not good with people. I can't help it. So it feels like whenever I'm confronted with a new social situation, I'm either ignored or made fun of or taken pity on. And Sari falls into that third category. What? Hold on, you're saying that Sari is taking pity on you? Yuri nods. I just want to be treated like a normal person. If you don't like me or you don't connect with my interests, then just tell me. I can accept that and move on. Sari is too nice to me. I am so stupid for not realizing that she would just go along with whatever I pushed onto her. Nobody deserves to put themselves through that kind of discomfort just because they pity some weirdo who doesn't know how to make friends. It's the worst feeling. I hate it. Yuri's sharp words cut through the tense air. Somewhere in the middle of the conversation, the two stopped short in the hallway, prioritizing the conversation over their original task. Monica looks at Yuri. Yuri only looks down with her fists clenched. I think you should tell her that. I could never say that to someone's face. It's pathetic. Sari is different. Making people happy is the most important thing to her. I'm sure that's all she's trying to do. So if you're able to explain to her what makes you happy, then she'll do anything to make it happen. That's the problem. What kind of friendship has one person always trying to cater to the other person's weird needs? I'm sorry, I'm making myself sound so... No, I think I'm starting to understand. Monica hesitates to finish her thought out loud. It's something that Sari would be able to say better. Sari is someone who will give anyone however much kindness they need in order to smile. But Yuri, who has difficulty accepting kindness, must be driving Sayori to be even more assertive in her kindness, further exacerbating the matter. Neither person is to blame, but it's an issue that can't be resolved without them understanding each other better. Sayori wants to be your friend, I promise that. It's okay for different people to have different needs. I mean, Sayori, she has her own needs too. But good friends work together and can be whatever they need for each other. You just have to have good communication and talk about it. I don't have communication. Yuri stops and shakes her head. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. My head is just so resistant to everything. I'm pushing such a kind person away from me because of it. Yuri pauses to think. I'm so tired of this cycle I'm creating for myself. I think I'm so afraid of people pushing me away that I just push them away first. How thoughtless and immature of me. Yuri takes a deep breath and exhales. I didn't mean for this to turn into a whole venting session, but I understand now that I just need to communicate with her. You're totally fine. It's for the club, remember? You're just helping make the club a better place for everyone. Yeah. Yuri falls silent again. She looks like she wants to say something. This is kind of critical. This kind of critical thinking is something that I'm really bad at. You know, about people. So, thank you. Anytime. Monica smiles at Yuri. For a moment, Yuri finds it in herself to meet Monica's gaze, returning a shy smile of her own. Man, it's pouring down out there. Yuri and Monica. Oh, this is the tropical storm.
Oh, this is like the... Basically.
Pre-tropical storm.
Yeah.
Yuri and Monica finish replacing the old flyers with the new ones. More accurately, Monica mostly did the work while Yuri followed along. But as the club room once again draws near, so does Yuri's confrontation. I can't do this. Yes, you can. It'll be great. Yuri sighs and shakes her head. I'm never going to feel confident enough. I just have to do it. If I don't do it now, I never will. Yuri starts towards the door, then turns to face Monica. You're not just going to wait outside, are you? I can take a walk. You want me to get you a coffee or something? Actually, I prefer tea. I like to make my own though, so please don't worry about that. Although I suppose that's the one downside of reading here in the club rather than at home. I don't get to drink tea while reading. Sorry, I guess it has nothing to do with this. You know, now that you mention it, I bet we could get permission to keep stuff for tea in the club room. You could use like an electric kettle to heat up the water, right? Would that really be possible? I'll look into it. I think it'd be great. Yuri smiles and nods at the thought. Well, I'll be back in a bit. Good luck. Monica waves at Yuri, then turns around and departs down the hallway as Yuri's smile fades once more. The amount of daydreaming about tea isn't enough to save her from the anxiety of the task that lies before her. But it must be done. Taking one more deep breath, Yuri timidly opens the clubroom door. Yuri? Wait, hold on, I'm not done yet. Yuri shuffles a bunch of papers around. Yuri stammers, her words suddenly caught in her throat. At that moment, she realized how Siri had been spending her afternoon. I wasn't expecting you to come today. I was really hoping to make it all the way through the next chapter first. But I got most of the way through it. And look, Siri holds up a sheet of paper. There's a page of notes, beautifully produced with indentations, categories, and even color coding. As Yuri sees it, her expression shifts from anxiety to despair. I was afraid you were getting disappointed in me, so I've been trying really hard. Stop. Yuri pressed her fist against her forehead. Please stop. I can't take this. Yuri? Siri's voice quivers in shock after having received the exact opposite response she was expecting. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Siri looked away in guilt. Did I do something wrong? I don't understand, so if I did something wrong, please tell me. Yuri shakes her head. No, it's me. I keep putting myself in these situations where people are afraid to treat me normally. If you don't like this kind of reading, it's okay. Please just tell me. I don't need to be treated differently just because I'm weird. But I don't treat you differently. I just want my friends to be happy. So I thought if we did something together that you really like, I don't want your pity. Why did I do that? Yuri sinks to her knees, her voice squeaks. I'm sorry. Tears of guilt and self-loathing begin to stream down her face. This isn't how it was supposed to go. Why is it so hard to articulate your thoughts? Why do you end up pushing everyone away from you? Yuri's mind pounds with internal accusations as she shuts her eyes, unable to face Sayori or the rest of the world. She should leave, just escape from here before Monica sees her like this, and before Sayori tells Monica what she did. But before Yuri can put any strength into her legs, she feels a warm pair of arms gently wrap around her from behind. It's okay, Sayori whispers in a soothing voice. It's okay. It's okay. Overcome by despair, Yuri finds herself unable to protest or pull away from Sayori's kind gesture. Yuri sniffles, breathing heavily through a clenched throat, trying with all her willpower to control herself. I understand. I understand the things that you're feeling in your head are different from the things you're trying to say. I know that must be what you're feeling right now. I promise I understand that. So I'll give you as much time as you need. When you're ready, just tell me your feelings and we'll talk about them together, okay? Yuri sniffles again and nods her head. She gives herself a minute to compose her thoughts, then speaks while setting her voice. I think that I've gotten so used to people being weirded out by me that it feels like anyone who's nice to me is just doing it out of pity. I am so horrible with people. So it makes me not want to believe that someone can actually like me for who I am. Yuri pauses, but... Good lord. Excuse you, I'm reading here. Yuri pauses, but Yuri doesn't interrupt. Rather, she waits for Yuri to continue. I got so excited when I joined the literature club. I thought that was finally my chance to make friends through my interests. Because my interests are the only things I know how to talk about. It's all I have going for me. But then, whenever I catch myself getting overly obsessive in front of other people, it feels like I'm making a fool of myself. I hate myself for it. Ultimately, I just want to be treated like a normal person, but how am I supposed to expect that when I can't behave like one? I just want to learn how to get along with people and start ruining things for myself. That's all. Yuri finishes her thoughts, feeling more steady after having gotten them out. Sayori, who can feel Yuri's breath rise and fall from beneath her arms, realizes that as well. Thank you for helping me to understand you a little bit better. You know, you were so great at helping me while we were reading, so I'll help you with the things that you need too. But I feel like it would be frustrating for you with how much patience I require sometimes. That sounds kind of familiar. I couldn't stop worrying about that while we were reading. I was so afraid. In my defense, the storm started up after I started this, so it was not my fault. I was so afraid you would get frustrated with me, but I would never do that. I did my best to reassure you by mentioning how I have a lot of patience. Yeah, I know, but my irrational fears just won't be quiet sometimes. I'm sure it's the same for you, right? Yeah, irrational fears. Oh, I know all about irrational fears. Well, you know, there's no way that you could frustrate me because I already like you as the person you are. I know you said that you have a hard time believing that, but I promise that it's true. You don't have to be a social person for people to like you. I think you're really considerate in your own way, you know, worrying so much about other people's feelings. We're all kind of weird. It's a literature club, but it's the best part. But it's the best part that we're all different and have different interests. Like about the book. I'm reading it because I want to. I promise. That's what I really want. It's a bit of a struggle, but try not to mistake that for me not enjoying it. I mean, we could never discover new things if we didn't try them first, right? I want to learn the reasons that you love it so much. And in the end, if it's not for me, then I can say that. But I'll be glad that I tried it and at least learned more about you. Plus, you're like super duper smart, and I want that to rub off on me. Yuri fights back a smile at that comment. Already the heavy atmosphere surrounding her seems to have evaporated to the caress of Sayori's arms. Your hair is so pretty. I always wanted long hair, but I was awful at taking care of it, so I cut it all off. Yuri's tension relaxes. For once, she feels okay just listening rather than worrying so much about saying the right thing. Sayori, sensing Yuri's comfort, lets her rest. It must be so difficult for her to feel relaxed around other people. But if the literature club can make it happen, then it's something that she deserves to experience. Well then, based on my understanding of your feelings, I suppose I wouldn't mind if we continue reading. That's what I wanted to hear, but we can stop at any time. If you truly don't like it, please be honest about it. I won't be offended. Of course, I'm not going to judge anything this early on though, so we'll just see what happens. Oh, and it's not good to touch people without their consent first. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. Oh, no, you didn't. I mean, I suppose it was kind of nice. I was just saying, I'm back. Monica's back. I haven't seen you, like, at all recently. Sayori trots over to Monica. She whispers loudly, "Can I hug you?" Of course, sure, Sayori. Sayori wraps her arms around Monica. Oh yeah, Yuri, it might be good to know Sayori can be kind of a hug monster. Hey, don't call me a monster. Artemis is a monster. If he inherits the kingdom, it could spell disaster. Yuri laughs. Monica perplexedly looks between the two of them, then smiles. Well, I'm glad you have been enjoying your reading so far. It's like our first real activity as a literature club. About that. Well, you've been so patient with exploring my interests. I think that it would be inconsiderate of me not to return the favor to you and learn about the things that you like. Yes. Do you like poetry? Yuri smiles. Okay, that must be the end of that chapter. So it looks like I'm missing 2 poems. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A couple special poems. So, interesting. Okay, so it looks like Natsuki and Monica is the next chapter. Well, next side story. And then it's... Okay, so that's how they're doing it. Okay. Gonna try to... Ow. Get as much done. Storm permitting. Okay. Do I want to? Okay, I'll at least get one more done. At least get halfway through it. Okay. Let's begin this next side story. It's been several weeks since the club has officially started. Through their initial setbacks, the 3 club members so far, Monica, Sayori, and Yuri, have increased their collective bond within the club. Sayori has partaken in some of Yuri's high fantasy literature, and all 3 of them, led by Sayori, have taken an interest in poetry. On a day like any other, the 3 find themselves suddenly interrupted by the club room door opening. And in walks a girl none of them have seen before. Hi. Sayori tugs excitedly at Monica's sleeve. Yuri shifts in her seat and buries her eyes in her book. Are you here for the literature club? Yeah. Say, yay, that's great. Thanks for stopping by. It's kind of a small club still, so it's really excited to see new faces. Yeah. Come and sit down somewhere. You can sit next to my desk. Sayori presses over to her desk and presses her palms on it. Oh, and Yuri can make you some tea. Yuri looks up at Sayori in protest for having drawn attention to her. Natsuki silent glances between everyone that sits down next to Sayori. Monica follows by sitting nearby. Then, the sudden gathering prompts Yuri to stand up, saying that the standing in the corner and making tea doesn't sound so bad after all. Okay then, how about we all introduce ourselves? Okay. Well, I'm Monica. I'm the one who started the club. I was originally in the debate club, but I really wanted to do something I felt more passionate about, if that makes sense. So, I started the literature club as a way for people to express themselves through writing, reading, or whatever kind of literature. You know, I figured that was your club. You have that vibe. I have what vibe? Oh, you know, like, never mind. I'm not gonna judge people I just met like that. Very adult-like of you. I always judge people so hard. Oh, no you don't, Sayori. Yes, she does. Yuri's deadpan voice carries across the room. Natsuki giggles. I'm Sayori. I just like learning about everyone and making friends. Oh, and I also like poetry. Oh, yeah? Very adult-like of you. I'm an adult. The sound of Yuri's electric kettle steaming up fills the room. Oh, that's Yuri. Sayori lowers her voice. She's kind of shy, but she's nice and super smart. She likes big fantasy books and tea, and I love her. Well, I guess that leaves me then. I'm Natsuki. I like listening to music and hanging out downtown and stuff. And my favorite ice cream flavor is strawberry. Ooh, let's get ice cream. My favorite flavor is probably cookie dough or maybe chocolate. It's cookie dough, and Monica's is probably vanilla. What the heck? I take way too many online quizzes. The ice cream ones are always accurate. What's Yuri's favorite? Natsuki shrugs. Probably green tea. I'm just joking. I have no idea for Yuri. Still, it's pretty chill here. Do you like hang out or do you actually do club stuff? Well, we do club stuff too. It just hasn't been very structured yet since we only have like 3 members, so we kind of loosely spend our time doing stuff we like. But I keep thinking it's about time we start with like the more structured club activities. It's been a while now since I started the club, so yeah. Well, with that being said, what kind of literature are you into, Natsuki? Anything you like the club to get into? Well, I guess I'm literature, well, I like manga. Manga? Hey, why'd you say it like that? I want to read manga in the club. Wait, hold on a second. That sounds so great. Like, after all I've been doing all of this, Nero returns to the desks with a tray of teacups, which he sets down on an empty desk. After all the deep and immersive reading I've been doing, I wouldn't mind doing something a little more simple. Manga isn't simple. If you think that, you just don't understand the nuance. I didn't...
Sorry, Storm wanted to interrupt you.
Huh?
I said, sorry, the storm wanted to interrupt you.
Yeah, I'm trying to read here, and it's all thundering outside. I didn't mean simple like that. Well, anyways, putting manga aside, is there any other literature that you're interested in? Well, not really. In that case, have you considered the anime club? Are you serious? I'm not going to join the anime club. It's full of weird guys. Come on. Come on, is it that big of a deal? Manga's literature, right? I mean, I guess if you consider the literal definition of literature, then technically, I get it. Look, I'll do whatever club activities you want. Can I please just join? I won't bother anyone. If I could just keep my manga here and hang out after school, I'll do literally whatever you want me to do. That's fine, right? Yeah, I guess there's something wrong with that. Oh my god, thank you. You're the best. I have most of it crammed in my locker, so I'm gonna start getting it, okay? Yeah, if we thought that Sayori's was rough and Yuri's was rough, Natsuki's is going to be, like, rough times 2.
Well, I mean, like, more theory.
Well, yeah, but we already, well, I mean...
But theory, if you
well...
more. But no, I'm assuming it's probably going to be...
Well, I mean, Sayori's hit me on the personal, relatable level. I don't think I'm going to feel as bad to the point where I have to take like a minute or 2 break. But, I mean, it's already implied of Natsuki's home life, so yeah. Need some help? Nah, I got it. I don't want you to see my locker. If you say so, but there's no way it's worse than mine. I hope we never find out then. Natsuki exits the club room, leaving everyone in silence, save for the sound of Yuri sipping her tea. Ugh, I'm such a pushover. Hey, it's not that bad. Natsuki seemed like a lot of fun. Maybe, but I mean, she has like no actual interest in literature, you know? And that's normally fine, but she said she would participate in the club activities like it's some kind of obligation. Her tea is going to get cold. Yeah, wait, that's not related. Well, I think everyone deserves a chance, especially if we can bring her happiness. Besides, maybe she'll take a liking to literature. Are you sure you don't want to read her manga series? Hey, who do you think I am? Sorry, I didn't mean it that. Mean that. I just feel really uneasy about this. Do you have any opinion, Yuri? Not particularly. She said she wasn't going to bother anyone. That includes me, so does that mean I bother you? No, you're a pleasure to be around. I was just fishing for a compliment. I know, but still, I really think we should give her a chance. Yeah, alright. But I really am going to start enforcing club activities. I'm willing to cooperate. Suddenly the three of them hear a thump against the door. What was that? Siri stands up and walks over to the door, then opens it. Thank you. Carrying 3 boxes of what is presumably manga, Natsuki grunts and wobbles inside before slowly bending over and dropping the stack onto the floor as gently as she can. That's quite a collection. Siri giggles in excitement while catching her breath. Natsuki replies, "There's still one more box. I can put them away myself. I know how to organize them." Monica anxiously glances between Siri and Yuri. Is this really okay for the club? Maybe it's what she needs to really kick the club into gear before everyone gets too complacent. Seems like things are finally going to start getting more serious. The next club meeting, Monica's the first to arrive, but ever since Natsuki joined, she feels a lot less relaxed. Why am I so nervous? Monica paces, trying to figure out her feelings. Natsuki says she wasn't going to bother anyone, so why does it feel like the atmosphere has changed so much? Well, Monica thinks that a club door opens, revealing Natsuki carrying a box. Crap. I'm gonna sneeze. I think. Monica forces a smile as Natsuki makes her way to the closet. Natsuki forces one in return. Need help? No, I got it. Monica awkwardly tries to start some kind of conversation but fails. Curious, she peeks into the closet where Natsuki is stashing all of her manga. While still school supplies, the shelves are now vibrant with bright colors and cute-looking artwork. You know, the top shelf is pretty empty. Maybe we could keep it up there? I can't reach up there. That would be so inconvenient. Yeah, but Monica sighs. The teachers are going to ask what all this manga is doing in here, and I have to tell them it's for the literature club. So? Monica backs off and slips into a desk. With all this kind of tension, it feels like the relaxed atmosphere accumulated the past few weeks is being sucked right out of the room. Yeah, this is the side stories. I've already put like 24 hours plus into the original game. And then having to play through it all again like 5-6 times already. Yeah. I didn't stream that because I've already been through all that before. This was the parts that is completely new to me, so I figured everyone's already seen the original so far so many times that if you're here, then yeah. So, this kind of tension feels like the relaxed atmosphere accumulated over the past few weeks is being sucked right out of the room. Crap, my nose is getting all stuffy again. Good afternoon. Sari spins into the club room. Oh, I see someone's in a good mood. Yeah, because I have this. Siri brandishes a cookie wrapped in plastic. Found some money and got a cookie. Ooh, that's so pretty. As Siri trots over to the closet, the colorful shelves catch her eye. Which one do I start with? Well, you can start by giving me a bite of that cookie. No way. I saved up all my luck to find that money. If you want entry into my kingdom, you need to pay the tax, peasant. Boo. Defeated, Siri unwraps her cookie and breaks off a piece for Natsuki. Then Yuri silently walks into the club room. Monica glances at her with pleading eyes. Yuri returns a quick nod of understanding. Well, everyone's here now. Despite the club only having one more person than before, it somehow feels twice as lively. Okay, so I think today we need to go over some potential club activities and see which ones we want to do first. We have 4 members now, so it'd be great if we found some stuff to do as a group. Does that sound good to everyone? I agree. Okay, so I have some ideas of my own, but I want to hear your ideas too. Well, I've been having a lot of fun learning about everyone else's interests. Maybe we could give each person a day to share their favorite kind of literature with everyone else. Well, maybe. Something tells me that. Monica glanced at Yuri and Natsuki, who both appear very unwilling to even consider each other's interests. Maybe we could try to come up with something that everyone will enjoy equally? You know, like we all vote on a book to read or something like that. I think we should all collectively try to expand our interests rather than just stick to things we're familiar with. Why does it feel like I'm being targeted here? Natsuki, didn't you say that you would go along with whatever the club wanted to do? Well, yeah, but that doesn't make it okay for you to ignore everyone else's preferences. I like Sayori's suggestion. Yeah, me too. Yeah, but... Monika's voice trails off. Although she let Natsuki join the club, Monika finds it incredibly difficult to relent to her demands. If Natsuki doesn't respect the club, why should Monika have to yield to Natsuki's opinion on anything? Natsuki, are you sure that you don't have any other literature interests you could share with the club? I swear I don't mind if you keep your manga in here, but Natsuki cuts Monika off by suddenly standing up. Well, it's obvious I'm not wanted here, so I'm just gonna leave. But I really would have appreciated you being more upfront about it. Okay, I think you're kind of jumping to conclusions here, but you're free to do whatever you want. Oh god, I hate it when people say that to me. That's like the worst thing to say. Natsuki shoots Monika a quick glare before walking straight out of the room. Oh no, Sari runs after her, leaving Monika and Yuri. For the second time today, Monika slumps down into a desk. Why am I such a jerk? No, she's a jerk. She's just making me feel this way. Yes, I am very proud of my hair. Like that was my favorite thing. And it took forever. Monika looks up at Yuri, seeking affirmation. Yuri looks away. She's probably just went around looking for the smallest clip she could find so she doesn't have to participate. How does she expect me to give her respect when she has no respect for the club? Am I wrong, Yuri? I'm not good at these things. Monika sighs. Me neither. I just have no idea what to do. I don't want to hurt anyone, but I feel like it's not wrong to enforce the club vision. You know, like people should join because they want to express their passion for literature, or at least develop it. So maybe she's not a good fit for the club after all. Monika sits in silence, afraid to accept her tentative conclusion. Yuri looks tense, but she doesn't seem to want to add anything. You can go back to reading. I know this doesn't concern you. It does. It does how? Well, I just can't comfortably read in an atmosphere where the peace has been disturbed. Oh. Well, great. I'm just ruining the whole club then. That's not an accurate conclusion to make. I know, I'm sorry. Just kind of voicing my frustration and I guess guilt. It's like my frustration wants to blame her, but my guilt wants to blame me. Ugh, why is it hardest to be rational during the times you need it the most? I don't think you're being irrational. I think Natsuki is. She has no authority to walk in here and make demands of the club. You're a club. Something as ridiculous as manga has no place here. The fact that you're even storing it for her should make her completely indebted to you. Well, you're right, but I don't know. Isn't it kind of harsh to say things like it's ridiculous and has no place here? Do you not feel the same way? You've been doing everything you can to avoid associating the club with it. So I assumed you felt the same way about it. That's not true. Well, recalling her confrontations with Natsuki, a realization starts to set in. You may be right. I mean, if it was anything besides manga, would I really be acting like this? Maybe I've just been convincing myself that it has nothing to do with the manga. I'm really upset that I would let myself do that. With a sigh, Monica walks over to the closet. She finds herself staring at the colorful shelves. This really isn't what I had in mind for a club about literature. There shouldn't be anything wrong with that. Monica starts defending her position once again. It's a complicated issue that Monica has failed to consider before now. Where is the line even drawn at what's considered literature? Lost in thought, she reaches into one of the larger box sets and pulls out a volume, inspecting it for no particular reason. The cover features 4 girls striking cute and exaggerated poses, all dressed in short skirts. Yeah, I mean, amused by the absurdity of the cover, Monica opens the book. Well, I mean, at least she opened. Oh, come on. Okay, so on to part 2.
Among in question says Madoka Magica.
Huh?
The manga in question says Madoka Magica on the cover.
No, it's Parfait Girls. Now, I mean, technically, Madoka would fit in this. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna stream. I mean, with the storm going on, I might lose power and it might decide for me. But I'm gonna try to finish all of these. I might actually just go through this last part and take a break until it like stops storming. This sucks. Why is Monica such a jerk? She should be grateful that I even joined her stupid club. It's not like she could find any members. Monica's usually really nice. She cares so much about everyone in the club being happy. Yeah, right. Well, she usually does. Maybe when she's not busy being so judgmental. So what if I'm into manga? Why can't just one person accept that instead of being so condescending about it? I accept it. I think it's cute. Oh, come on, that's condescending too. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I just want to support you. Natsuki sighs. I know, thanks. It just really sucks. You want me to talk to Monica? I don't know. It's not like it's gonna change your opinion of me. Like, even if you were to convince her to back off, that wouldn't suddenly make me feel like I'm actually welcome in the club. I should just find another club. Wait, you don't have to do that. We can figure this out, please. I mean, I'm the vice president, or at least I think I am. And I don't want you to leave. Everyone deserves to feel welcome and to be happy, so I want to make that happen for you. I was wondering, what was the reason that you decided to join the literature club? Well, Natsuki hesitates. It's kind of dumb. No, don't say that. There's no such thing as a dumb reason when everyone is welcome. I wasn't welcome. You were to me. So, just don't tell anyone, okay? Especially Monica. I promise. Natsuki sighs. I'm just tired of everyone judging me all the time. I can't enjoy any of the stuff I'm into without people making snotty comments about it. Not that I care about what anyone thinks, but you know, the signs for the literature club say that you can be yourself or whatever. So I decided it was at least worth a shot. But that was a lie, apparently. Natsuki dejectedly kicks the toe of her shoe against the wall. Oh, and I like writing too. Really? How come you didn't say that to Monica? Because she was being so judgmental that I just want to tell her something that she wanted to hear. She didn't deserve that kind of satisfaction. And if she knew I was into writing, then she would be like everyone else, try to push me away from the manga and favor the more mature thing. I mean, I know how that is. The two of them remained silent for a while. Suri understands that it's out of the question for Natsuki to return to the club room for today at least. But Natsuki has a reason for wanting to join a club just like everyone else. It's part of the club vision for her to be welcome. You deserve to express yourself as much as everyone else does. That's supposed to be what the club is for. So I'm going to do everything I can to fix this. I promise. It's lunchtime the next day. The cafeteria and halls are bustling with students rushing to meet with their friends to make the most out of their limited break time. Where could she be? Among them is Monica, who always eats lunch in her classroom, but she has additional business today. Fearing Natsuki would avoid coming to the club, Monica decided to try to find her during lunch so she could make amends. After searching extensively for a time, Monica finally spots her. Despite her short stature, Natsuki's bright hair helps her to stand out from the crowd. Oh gosh. Suddenly feeling awkward, Monika's afraid to get closer. Natsuki is with some friends whom Monica doesn't recognize, and they're all energetically chatting together. It'd be really tactless to just interrupt them. Oh yeah. Okay. Bye-bye. Thanks for dropping by. Oh yeah, did you end up joining that literature club or what? Huh? Of course I'd join. Why wouldn't I? Ha, I told you she would join. Yeah, come on, you know she only joined because you wouldn't stop giving her crap about the anime club. I told you, I never even wanted to join that stupid club. Oh, sure. Well, you have to give her some credit for at least making an effort to finally grow past that trash. Well, true. Well, congrats on finally graduating middle school, Natsuki. We're proud of you. Shut up. Just let me do my thing. I'm joking. You know we love you. Yeah, once the literature club makes you a famous writer, we'll be the first ones to buy your book. What? You're gonna buy her smutty fan fiction? Well, obviously, I want a signed copy. That was like years ago. You don't think I've grown out of it by now? I told you I was joking. Besides, it's a good reminder of how far you've come since then. Not to mention, you couldn't have done it without us. That gives us a pass to joke about it. Yeah, sure. They grew up so fast, brings a tear to my eye. Natsuki suddenly glanced in Monika's direction, prompting Monika to quickly turn away and distance herself. What the heck? That was horrible. Should have said something to defend her. Why do I have to be so conflict avoidant? Not I deserve to say anything. I'm hardly better than them after the way I treated her. Ugh, I'm so awful. I'm not doing anything right. After school ends, Monika distractedly makes her way to the club room. She finds Yuri already inside, eyes on a book as usual. Monika picks a desk and slumps into it, something she seems to be doing rather often lately. Yuri, I don't think I can be club president. I suck at handling anything that doesn't go like exactly my way. Yuri looks up from her book. It's like literature club is a place where you get to express yourself, unless it's in a way that I don't like. I'm so mad at myself. And I'm especially mad that I didn't have the self-reflection skills to realize what I was doing. So much for maturity. Sorry, I realize I shouldn't be complaining out loud like this. There's just like a lot on my mind. No, I enjoy listening. Really? Uh-huh. Why? Yuri shrugs. It just makes me feel nice. Oh, well, okay. I guess I'll just continue then. Yuri nods. Yeah. Oh, crap. Natsuki has kind of a blunt attitude, you know? It made me feel like she wasn't taking the club seriously. I couldn't even figure out why she wanted to join. I saw her friends talking to her in the hallway during lunch, and they were just so mean to her, telling her to grow up and stuff like that the literature club would help her grow out of her manga. It just made me so mad, like, just let her enjoy it. It makes her happy. Why are you trying to take that away from her? And when I had that thought, it was when I came to the realization that I was kind of doing the same thing, just in a roundabout way. I should have made her feel good about being passionate about something, but I just dismissed it. No, I was actually trying to avoid acknowledging it at all. I even did that with you, Yuri, when you first joined the club. You did? Yeah, I remember. Fantasy really isn't my thing, so I was kind of just trying to dismiss it, but then Sayori jumped in and took over the conversation. I should have reflected on that, but I didn't because I just let Sayori handle it instead. And now I'm repeating the same mistake, except I really hurt someone this time. Monika shakes her head. I'm so tired of being afraid of things I'm not comfortable with. It's so stupid. Like, I could just picture how much joy it would bring Natsuki if I let her share her passion a little. And I'm so angry that her friends were treating her like that. I'm going to get them back for it. Get them back? Yeah, I'll get them back by making sure that this is the literature club that Natsuki wants, not the one that they want. Suddenly, Sayori bursts through the door, making Monika and Yuri jump. With a rare, stern face, she marches over to Monika's desk and sits down next to her. I'm having an intervention. I can do that because I'm vice president. This is about Natsuki? Yes. Yeah, I know. I messed up. I'm super sorry. I was just talking to Yuri about it. Really? I was so dismissive of her passion that she felt threatened and probably just unwelcome. Literally the opposite of what the literature club is supposed to be. I really need to make it up to her. Oh. Yay, I did it! Thanks for the intervention, Sayori. I'm glad we're on the same page. Friendship wins again. So how do you want to make it up to her? I have a plan. Sayori, do you know if Natsuki is coming to the club meeting today? I don't think she is. I see. Monika was afraid of that. Not because of her plan, but because she's facing the consequences of the damage she inadvertently caused. But the only way to do the right thing is to face it head on. So easy to duck away from conflict and wait for it to blow over. But that's not enough. To truly respect someone's feelings after you've hurt them is to face them and admit your wrongdoing. Not the wrongdoing of mismanaging the club, but the wrongdoing of disrespecting Natsuki's feelings. Okay, do you think you can get her to come to the meeting tomorrow? I can do that. Okay, awesome. Yuri, you don't have to worry about anything, but thank you for being my friend. You're a good listener. Finishing with her hair, Yuri turns away to hide a smile. Well, I guess for today it's going to be a pretty quiet club meeting. I'm going to step out for a bit. Is that okay? Yeah, I'm just going to read with Yuri. Hey, is this one of Natsuki's book? How come it's out here? Sayori picks up a manga that was resting on an adjacent desk. Oh, that? Natsuki probably just left it out by accident. But I thought she hasn't been coming to the club. Actually, Monika's been... Okay, Yuri. I'm sure it was just someone else who was using this classroom then, okay? Monika smiles at them both. Then with a wave, she exits the club room. Ow! Ow's my shoulder. I really shouldn't have left that out. If Sayori catches on, she'll definitely tell Natsuki, and that would get really awkward. Now, I wonder if there's a keyboard I could borrow from the music room. The time for the next club meeting has already arrived. Monika and Yuri are the first to arrive. I'm so worried. Do you think Sayori is going to be able to bring Natsuki? Yes. How do you know? Well, she's Sayori. You know, you're right. Time slowly passes. Monika sits, then stands up to pace around, then sits again. Yuri's eyes don't move from her book. Then the door finally opens. Sayori marches inside. Behind her, Natsuki shuffles inside, nervously looking around the room. We're here. Welcome back. Monika, the club president, stands up and greets him with a smile. Sayori picks a desk and takes a seat. Natsuki sits closely next to her. Looking back and forth between the club members, Monika is struck with a nostalgic feeling. She would stand in front of the club room just like this, struggling to picture who may eventually be sitting before her. But imagination was never enough to predict just how unique and diverse each member would be. Each with their own struggles, with their own reasons for seeking the vision that Monika had admittedly so vaguely advertised. Seeking trust, understanding, respect. What new lessons would the future hold for the Literature Club? Realizing she's getting ahead of herself, Monika takes a deep breath and returns to the present. Okay, everyone. The Literature Club is starting. We have an activity planned for today. Monika turns around and faces the chalkboard. On it, she writes manga in big letters. Today we're going to learn from an expert about a unique form of literature, manga. Oh, come on! Isn't this kind of forced? I know you don't actually want to do this, so just Monica shakes her head. Natsuki, this is the hardest part. After making it this far, it'd be so easy to smile and move on. But that's not enough, not this time. I'm sorry. It was wrong of me for not taking you seriously when you were kind enough to show interest in my club. I thought about it, I realized how biased I was against manga. It caused me to disrespect you, and I'm sorry. But I think you deserve to be able to share your passion with us. So, can I make it up to you? Well, thanks, but I know you're only doing this because Sayori told you to. Wait, that's not true. Monica planned this all by herself. I didn't even get the chance to talk to her. I was a witness to that as well. This is the Literature Club. The Literature Club is a place where everyone gets to be themselves. We all have our own interests and our own differences. It is my vision to let us freely express that, and it's my goal to respect everyone for them. So, I want to learn about the things that make you happy. I think that you deserve to share that joy as much as everyone else does. Is that okay? Natsuki looks away and hesitates. But it's really dumb, the stuff I'm into. Monica smiles. She kneels in front of Natsuki's desk and looking her straight in the eye. If you like it, then it isn't dumb. Oh, except for me. Siri, you're not dumb either. What the heck? You guys are so weird. Fine, I'll show you some of my manga. Only because you admitted that it's literature after all. Natsuki stands up. Oh yeah, I didn't say this before, but I'm actually into writing too. I'm kind of a pro. But I didn't want you to like me just for that. Wow, really? I really did have you all wrong, Natsuki. Yeah, whatever. Today's not about that anyway, right? It's about manga, so I hope you're ready. I think that's the end of the chapter. No? A week has passed since Natsuki returned to the Literature Club. Since then, the club activities have been in full swing. Each club member has received a day in the spotlight to share all their favorite kinds of literature with each other. As another meeting draws to a close, Monica approaches Natsuki on the way out. Natsuki, are you in a hurry home or anything? Not particularly. Why? Oh, there was just something I wanted to show you if you had a few minutes. Sure, what is it? It's not in here. Can you follow me to the music room? The music room? Why? Well, you'll see. That's a pretty cool music room. Wait, I think this is like the first time we've really been elsewhere. You know, I was thinking back when the club was just me and Sayori. We would talk about how we envisioned the club to turn out. We cared a lot about it being a place where people could express themselves. And she said something strange to me. She said that I was trying to make the club that I needed for myself more than anyone. But I think it wasn't until you joined that I fully understood that. Because you really taught me a lot about myself, like things that I was probably way too stubborn to admit. Oh, come on, you can't mean that. I didn't do anything. Just like brought a bunch of manga and then I got fussy when I didn't have my way. It was really stupid of me to make such a big deal out of it. No, I honestly needed it. If you didn't express that you were hurt, I would have never realized that I did something wrong. Besides, your feelings are valid. They deserve to be heard and respected. It's just really hard to feel that way sometimes. You know, like, I really shouldn't care about what other people think in the first place. But when you're just criticized by everyone around you for being a certain way, it can get really hard to just brush it off. And it makes me start to feel like I'm the problem. Like, I'm not doing enough to please everyone. Am I being too entitled if I just want people to like me without having to hide a bunch of stuff about myself? I don't think I am. I just wish that sometimes people would try to appreciate me for who I actually am. As Monica listens, she recalls vividly how Natsuki's friends were treating her and how naturally they did so. How long has she been fighting against that, refusing to change for others? I can only wish I was as strong as you are, Natsuki. You're so honest with yourself. I'm like always trying to come off as perfect for other people. And every time there's like a hint of contention, I just crumble. But it's thanks to you that I really started thinking about this stuff. You really inspired me to start working on it. But like I said, I didn't even do anything. You were just being yourself. That's all you needed to do. Also, there's something else. Monica takes a deep breath. The thing is, I might have read a little bit of your manga. What? You? The heck? Why didn't you tell me? I'm sorry. I think I just felt like kind of embarrassed to admit it after I gave you such a hard time about it. I can't believe you, of all people, were reading my manga behind my back. That's so funny. Yeah, well, I just flipped through one of them out of curiosity, but ended up reading a whole bunch of it. But, I mean, one of the characters from the literature club. What are the chances in that, right? You were reading Parfait Girls? Wow, you have good taste. Just one volume, and I kind of picked it out randomly. Well, you have good intuition then. You have to tell me all your favorite parts. Well, I think it was some kind of weird fate. Because the character isn't just in a literature club, she also plays piano. It's just weird because I've always wanted to learn piano. She is like the perfect person, and I always wish I was. If I did what I wanted instead of always second guessing myself. Monica walks over to the piano and sits down. I always felt like I should only share the absolutely best parts of myself, the parts that would impress people or make them like me more. But after you joined the club, I realized how self-destructive that mentality is. We share things because we want to express ourselves. Sharing experiences allow us to share emotions. And I just felt like I wanted to show you this because if it wasn't for you, I would have never started playing. Hey, I think the credit for that one goes to Parfait Girls, not me. No, well, maybe it's true that Parfait Girls put thought into my head, but it was still you who inspired me to keep practicing every day. Every day? Because, you just make me feel like if I want to do something, I should just do it. I mean, I still haven't been practicing for very long, and I'm really not good at it yet, like, at all, but I wrote a song for the club, and I worked really, really hard on it. It doesn't have any words or anything yet, but, well, yeah. That's all. That was so good. It was? Yeah, are you kidding? You're like already a pro. Not even close. Does the song have a name? Said it was about the club, so yeah. It's called My Song, Your Note. Because everyone brings something so unique to the club. It's completely different from how I first imagined it, I think. But I was like such a selfish perfectionist. It shouldn't be about me, it should be about everyone. And it's all you who help shape the club to what it is. I would never change that. Well, I think that's really thoughtful and kind of flattering. I kind of feel like I don't deserve this much validation. I wasn't exactly very patient either when I first joined the club. It makes me feel like I should probably apologize too. I think I was just really fed up with a lot of things and I got frustrated after not getting my way in the club. So, yeah. I really didn't mean to take it out on you. I was being really immature. If you get my stubborn butt to apologize, I guess you're doing something right. It's fine. I'm past it too. I think we're already even. But it's really sweet of you that you were thinking about it. It takes a lot of maturity to reflect on that kind of thing. Well, I wonder who I got it from. Hmm? Oh, never mind. Well, anyway, we're even as long as you let me keep my manga in the club room. Did admit it's a form of literature. You totally can't take that back now. You got me. The closet's all yours. Tell you what, I'll bring in a little something for the club tomorrow. I want to do something nice in return. What kind of little something? Ooh, cupcakes. You'll see, but I don't think you'll be disappointed. Here comes the cupcakes. Oh, and that's the end of that. Oh, there's another mail. I still got 3 more. How long have I been? Oh, I've been at this for 2 hours now. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead take a break. Um, quit the stream and all. I don't know what this storm's gonna do right now, but I'll definitely be back. Thanks for dropping by.